And then she said to him, "No, that is not your knee." I mean, where would you get that kind of nonsense from? Oh, we're on. Okay, right, fair enough. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to American Scouser TV Thursday Night Podcast. ASTV to the cool kids. And you just missed the best joke ever. It was a great story. Cosy started it, as always, but I was able to finish it. We are here, as always, for Thursday night. We've got proper football coming back up. We had that nonsense with the playoff things that we didn't have to be involved in, thankfully, for the Champions League. Celtic are out, but Crystal Palace and Forest somehow are still in, just showing the strength of the Premier League against the European competition this year. I have not got it on my agenda, but we will talk about who we would prefer. I know we have different preferences between, I believe the choices are Juventus or Galatasaray. Is that correct? No. Atleti, that's the one. Yes, Atleti. I kind of want Atleti. I don't know. I just love seeing Diego Simeone.
That's also the correct answer.
Yes, also the correct answer. But I just love seeing Simeone on the sideline. He does something for me. He's like the Brian Ferry of coaches. Here's I don't know.
No one's ever said that sentence ever before.
And no one ever will again. That's how it works.
Brian Ferry and Diego Simeone.
So that's the Roxy music of football. But let's look at what we're going to talk about tonight. Apart from that, Rio Ngamoha, a bit of debate on our Discord channel, which I have my opinions on things about how we can bring young players into the game, but clearly this kid should be playing, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Manchester City thing. There was a nice analyst guy came out and talked about what possible punishments other than 0 that they may face. Then we'll talk a little bit about kind of a debate we had last week after the results, about whether the result or the performance was more important, and then we'll look ahead to West Ham. I hope we're playing, because that's what the graphic is, and I can't change it now. Gentlemen, Z, Brian and Cosy, how are we this week?
Doing good.
How are you? Good. It's always a good week when the Reds don't play this season.
You wouldn't be far wrong, but it's also a good week when we can see the forecast and we're getting temperatures back up below 0 for next week. So that some of that 5-foot worth of snowbank is going to start melting in my garden.
Explain to people that we don't all live in Macca's house.
We don't all live in Macca's house.
We're not all getting the same snow. I'm 69 here today, so I'm fine.
Yeah, no, you got like 47, I think we got, so that was nice. But the
72.
The nor'easter absolutely slaughtered us. And as I said, thank God I learned how to fix a carburetor on a snowblower, because I would have been stuck. But I did, and now there's no snow in my driveway. So let's look at Rio Ngamoha. There he is there. I think he's a wonderful player. I think he's a fantastic prospect. I think he should be playing more. But there are some schools of thought that say we don't want to push him too hard too early. Gally made a point during the week, on the Monday show, I believe, about Michael Owen complaining about the injuries he had, and that Houllier overplayed him as a kid. But I looked that up, and because it wasn't quite right in my head, he was 20 when Gerard Houllier took over. It was Roy Evans who would have overplayed him as a teenager of anybody. But as much as Michael Owen may complain about his career being cut short by injuries, but I think it was cut short because he lost his pace a little bit and became crap. I bet if you sat down with Michael Owen and you gave him two options that his life were going to have, he was going to be managed properly with spare minutes until he was like 21, 22, and he would have a longer career, but he doesn't win the Ballon d'Or. He doesn't score that goal in 98 in the World Cup. He doesn't be the top scorer in England. He would still choose the path he had, I bet. If you put a choice to him, he would rather keep the trophies and the knee pain than lose the knee pain and be, I don't know, Sean Dundee, essentially.
I don't get this conversation. about.
No, it shouldn't even be a conversation.
I understand this. Let's have it then. Okay, so we're trying to protect them. Well, there's only fucking 12 games to go in the season, so the kid's going to get a 3-4 month break in the summer. So if you are worried about him, and by the way, we're not asking the kid to start every single 90 from here on out. That's not the conversation. The conversation is, does the kid deserve an hour? That's the conversation.
That's what I want our topic to be about tonight. Are we overprotecting young players now at this point? Or talking about it as fans, because he can do 30 minutes regularly and start the occasional game, and it won't affect him in the future. I think playing him every game, maybe yes, at his age, but that's not what as you say. That's not what we're asking for.
No one's asking for that. No one person is saying Rio should be starting. We've got to protect them and all this kind of bollocks, right? Because this is annoying me now, right? You can start West Ham, have a break midweek, then go back to Wolves on the weekend and go, can you do another hour for us? That's what the conversation.
Yeah.
Actually, and by the way, if you can't start West Ham at home, which is Liverpool's easiest game left, is West Ham at home, statistically on paper, I would argue it is West Ham at home. I know we got Wolves away, but still, it's away from home, anything can happen. This thing of like, and this other thing as well, again, the injuries, Michael Owen getting compared. I've heard Raheem Sterling won 5 league titles.
Yeah.
Like, what's this conflict? Like, what about Wayne Rooney's finished the 31? Wayne Rooney's the fucking Man United's greatest ever player. So, what's the conversation?
What was he, 16 when he scored that goal against Arsenal, wasn't it?
He was 16, yeah. He was 16.
And he was a full-time player pretty much after that.
He moved to United at 18.
Yeah.
He started against Fenerbahce on his debut and scores an hat-trick. And he was in. That's it, you're done. And by the way, you finished at 31 with 4 or 5 league titles in the Champions League and everything else. Premier League, fucking one of the greatest ever players. Should be starting. Wayne Rooney was starting everyone's best ever 11 in the Premier League, and he should be, because he was that good. Oh, right. Oh, what a shit career then for you, lad. Fucking hell, you'd snap any footy player would snap your hand off for Wayne Rooney, Raheem Sterling, and Michael Owen's career. Everyone would snap your hand off. But anyway, going back to the thing about protecting him. Yeah, if this is in September, I can understand the conversation, because if the kid plays his way in and you go, I can't leave him out now because the kid scored 2.
Yeah.
And you kind of like, you know what I mean? I get all that conversation to have, and I understand it. There's 12 games to go.
Yeah.
Literally, Liverpool's summer's on the line, and we haven't got a winger who can take a man on. Like, we got one winger who can take a man on. This kid. And Liverpool's literally whole summer plans getting set back by 3 years is on the line. And people are going, we shouldn't have a player. Fuck, we're asking the kids to go out and just win us a game in the first half. By the way, not win us a game, but you know what I mean? You know what's happening in the first half? Liverpool scored 1 goal in the opening 40 minutes in the Premier League since Everton. Since September. 1. And that was Ekatike when he scored in the first minute against Brighton at home, I think. What are we doing? We haven't got a choice. This kid is it. This thing of like, and I'm sorry, it's really starting to annoy me now with this comment. There's 12 games to go, lads. And by the way, if Liverpool in a fucking Champions League final were 1-0 down like we will against Real Madrid, I want Rio coming off the bench for 10. If that was going to happen. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, lads. Maybe I'm starting to be a little bit more. I remember the old saying, well, if you're old enough, you're good enough, and that kind of deal. If you're old enough, sorry. And I get all that conversation. I'm just at the stage where it's 12 games, lads. Can you do an hour against West Ham, who are statistically our easiest game left at home? If you can't, then why is he here?
Yeah.
Why is he here? Well, he can do 10s. The kid can do 10s. What are we, 17? The kid's not 12. He's 17. Yeah. Like,
and he's not 16 going on 17. He's 17 going on 18.
Robbie Fowler was the same conversation. Yeah. Robbie Fowler was a freak of nature at 17, 18. He scored 5 on his debut. You can't stop these kids. But there's also a part as well, guys. And people don't consider this. Sometimes when you have a kid with this much talent, you just gotta let them go. Otherwise, you just hurt them by holding them back. Even more. You just gotta let them flourish. And you just gotta go, you know what? It happened to Ferguson with United with the class of 92. Sometimes Ryan Giggs is good enough for 17, 18. And all right, everyone has that conversation. But what about Owen? What about Ryan Giggs? He starts at 17 and he plays till he's 39. So maybe he has that career, who knows? I don't know, maybe I'm just being fucking a bit like a cynical old bastard in my day and age, but I'm just like, I just look at Liverpool in the state that way. It's like if Liverpool were top of the league by 12 points, 15 points, we go, why play him? Liverpool's arse is on the line. No. It's the arse, but here we are.
So what you're saying basically for Rio Ingamoha to avoid any long-term injuries, he has to have the recuperation plan of sleeping with his brother's wife, is what you're saying.
Yeah, listen,
Woo!
get to that stage in a few years. I hope we have the goal to do it. But I'm just at that stage though, guys. Like, can you do West Ham? Can you do Wolves away in the cup? And then I might not see it till Fulham for 3 weeks. That's fine.
Yeah.
Again, I keep saying it. Man United are winning footy matches. Chelsea, okay, dropping. Chelsea, Liverpool, you know what I mean? Like, sorry, this thing of like, oh, Liverpool will finish 6th, 7th. Don't worry, though, we protected Rio, so it's sound. What? We haven't got a winger who can take a man on.
Yeah.
Sorry, lads. I know I've kind of been on a rant here, but honestly, I've been on my soapbox.
First tonight is rant tonight. That's the whole point
honestly,
of it.
So much about it. And Tamucci brings it up to one on the Friday show. If he's watching this, fella, I'm going to come for you again about this. Liverpool's arse is on the line, and I want to win a trophy, and I want to get in the top 5. So let's crack on.
Brian, I'm just looking here from who scored. He's had 289 total minutes this season. Because he's right. Like, you despise the 4-2-3-1. I just don't like it. I just for our team, I think it nullifies all of our best talents. One thing it would be good for is a winger who could take players on. Put that player on the outside, and it drastically alters what the other team's defenders do, because now you can eliminate one of their defenders without having to pass the ball. And that's one thing we're massively missing. I mean, Salah used to be able to do it with pace, but he can't do it as much anymore because his pace isn't there as at least as well as it used to be. Frimpong could do it with pace, but of course he's on the sick bed with 20 million other players that we have on the books. That's the important point, isn't it? And this is it's not an Arnie Slot night, but this is a criticism, is that when we need that change, when we need that kind of little bit of impetus, and we saw last week, just having that player being able to do that lifts everybody, because now you're saying, and we've all played, now you're saying, okay, now there's a bit of space for us, because they're all going to have to go to him. They're all going to have to go to him.
Ekitike should score.
He should score, yeah.
He should score. And by the way, sorry, I know Brian will bring in this. Like, he's unlucky to get the goal in the FA Cup because he's onside in the FA Cup and he scores. Yeah. Like, am I losing my mind here? But like, help me out.
No, I mean,
sorry, that sounded like a Beastie Boys thing there.
I think, but you know, I guess the one thing is like that. I remember part of the beginning of the season, I was like, hey, you know what? We need to kind of conserve Rio's minutes right there, but I've changed my opinion largely right there, because I think that we have a very much ineptitude on that right-hand side, and I think that Rio has the ability to invigorate that side right there. And I see that. I see Kazi's point. Give the kid some minutes. I do think he's going to get minutes in the Wolves matches. And why not come there and put him in at least more than 10 minutes? Because 10 minutes, like you said, like that. What is he, a U12 player? I mean, with that. My biggest problem I have, and this isn't just a Rio thing right there, is what is this showing the rest of the academy right there about progression? And that's one of the things I put there, because I mentioned right on Discord, we're about to lose a very super talented kid right there, Josh Abbey right there, and I think it's going to hurt a lot right there, because I mean we're banking a lot on a 15-year-old kid right there to go to make the progression through there, and you've got Real Madrid, you got Arsenal, you got Chelsea, you got all these teams sniffing around this kid right there, and if he's looking over here and seeing that Rio's coming on for 10 minutes and doing this, but he's still not getting minutes. What does that show to them right there? What does it show to to all the other kids that are in the U23s, like Connie Doherty? What does it show to these guys right there? Is there a pathway? And I think that's when you get to the big difference right there you have between how Klopp's philosophy was and Slot's philosophy, because I don't think Slot gives a shit about the academy, and I have a problem about that. I mean, I'll go toe to toe with anybody on this right there. How many minutes have you seen kids? I've seen Yodi go in maybe like a handful of times right there this season right there, but never much of anything. And it was against League Two sides and all that. I mean, Morrison came there and scored 4 goals a couple weeks ago right there, and got on the bench but never got minutes. We don't have a fucking forward. I mean, why are you not going there and putting these kids in there to give them that little bit of time and all that? So that's my biggest issue right there. Yes, Rio needs minutes right there, but also You need to go there and start giving in order to have a successful academy right there on track talent. And we all went and talked about the academy last year, where the whole goal is the academy to make money right there. You get 1 or 2 gyms out of 100 kids and all that, but you're not going to attract any of these put in this talent to go there to make that progression, because if they're going to say, hey, why am I going to go here? I'm never going to get minutes. I'm never going to live up to my expectations, and that's a problem.
Now, Brian, let me ask.
Sorry, I want to follow in there, right? And I can go with you a little bit on the academy conversation. I don't mind having it. But the Kieran Morrison one and stuff like that, they're nowhere near it at the moment, right? And the manager's job's on the line. So I understand for him to go with, okay, I need professionals. If I fucking go and throw a few kids in and we get whacked 3-0, I'm dead. And I get that. I get all that conversation. But we always been around the squad. It's completely different. It's not like Kieran Morrison's been on the bench since day one and he's came in and shown flashes of what he can do. Kieran Morrison hasn't had that chance, and I get that.
Nope.
Because Rio's levels ahead of him as it stands.
Mm-hmm.
Not like this is not like let's get all the academy players. And I agree with you, by the way. I think the academy is a bit of a problem with the way he's fucked off Kwanzaa and things like that. I'm not a fan of it. That's fine. It's been done. But this is also a lad who's came on and took an opportunity. So I just think sometimes you just need to reward players for playing well.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just need to look and go, actually, Mo Salah, as much as, of course, you're the fucking legend, you should have a statue outside Anfield. He came on the right-hand side, he took a man on, crossed the ball for Ekatike, and he should have scored. And he changed the game completely. On your side, not even on the side he's been playing on. So that tells me that the lad can play both sides.
Mm-hmm.
The lad can do both sides. So, and this other conversation of the protecting the minutes, and again, because Brian just kind of brought it up, I looked at 2 players last year at Arsenal who got minutes last year and not now because they're kids. Max Darman got minutes at 15. He's not now because he signed players. And Wanyeri. Wanyeri was unbelievable for them last year, at the start of last year, for 6 months. Where is he now? He's on loan at Marseille, getting minutes, getting time, because they signed Eze. And they went, we're just going to go and sign the complete package. You're all 17. I know you've done us a favour because we needed your help at the time. But go and get your minutes, go and play men's footy, then come and see us. Why can't we just do like the Wanyeri deal with Rio? Just do a 1 year, bring him in for 6 months and then go, right, go and play men's footy. See you later. We're going to go and sign a 60 million quid winger. Go and sign Michael Olise.
Mm-hmm.
And go and learn on someone else's watch. Like, why can't we just take advantage of him when he's here, like Arsenal did last year in 1 year? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just I'm really frustrated, but I don't have the chat of this is an academy thing, because this lad has been around the squad since day one. And we went to the season with didn't sign Luis Diaz and went because we're blocking this lad's path. Right then. So that tells me he's an option. But right now, the manager's saying he's not.
But I mean, it goes the same thing right there. Is why the hell do we keep Chiesa? Why do we sell? And this goes to one of your points you made earlier. If you're going to have players on there that you sit on the bench and you don't play them, get rid of them. Like Chiesa should have been gone last year. I mean, we all know this right there. I mean, that's like he's not getting minutes. You're bringing him the same 10 minutes you're giving Rio, you're giving Chiesa. So it's like, I mean, what are we doing?
Now, before I go to Susie, Brian, this is what I want to ask you, just to kind of bring it a little bit back to the academy. Under Klopp, if you were a kid that was not developed on the streets of Liverpool, say, and then brought into the academy that way, if you were coming from another academy and you saw the League Cup final against Chelsea and how many kids played that, you're going to go, I want to go there because I'm going to win a trophy there. Imagine now being a kid right now, you're going to see your route blocked, and that's like a knock-on effect of not letting an incredibly talented player like Rio get not full-time minutes at this age. There is a concern about overplaying him, but we're underplaying him right now, aren't we? I mean, that's a knock-on effect. It tells as long as Arnie Slott's the manager, at least, it tells prospects from other clubs and other parts of the world that they're just going to be academy players.
Absolutely. I mean, again, right there again, like I said, the successful version of an academy right there is to get those 2 gyms and the other out of 100 and the other 98 you go there, use either you release half of them or you actually make money off the other kids right there to move them through there. So, I mean, that's your whole entire goal. You kill your money, that whole process by not going there and giving these kids minutes. By doing things, by actually having them go on the pitch. So yeah, what I said right there, if I was a kid right now, I probably wouldn't go to Liverpool as right there. I'd go to somebody like Bournemouth. I'd probably go to somebody like, to Brighton or someplace like that where I should probably have a better, clear path right there to go of going forward. I go to West Ham's academy. I go to these other academies right there where I know that there's a path and there's a plan. I just don't think their academy has a plan right now, and that's the problem.
I'm sorry, I know this is, I said I'm sorry, lad, right, but I think there's an opinion here, right, about Liverpool with the academy, and I get it, and the pathway and all that. You need to be such a level to play for Liverpool, right? It's such a level you've got to get to. And I understand these kids aren't getting a chance to get to that level, and I get that, because the scrutiny is so high. But this kid feels special.
Oh, I agree.
Point. So this is what I think. This is most of our arguments here. So forget the Kieran Morrison conversations and all that. We can get to them in the summer and give them.
Yeah.
And we'll have a look, right? I just think this kid is so special, and every time he's come on, he's proved that he can make a difference to this Liverpool team. And it's not like Liverpool don't have anything to play for. I keep saying it. If Mo Salah and Cody Gakpo were contributing, you go, well, the kid can't play, he can't get in because these two are great. No, these two are, well, I think Salah had a really bad game against Forest, but other than that, he's played quite well. But Gakpo, seriously, like, come on. The kid can't get in over Gakpo for an hour at home to West Ham. This is the thing about the Wolves game. Everyone's going to play him against Wolves. I don't want him to go to a fifth round. But it's a Friday night game. Wolves pissing down with rain to start. I want him to play at home West Ham when he's protected. 3 o'clock kickoff. The fans are there. Everyone can help him and support the kid. Oh no, let's just throw him in an FA Cup fifth round game when Liverpool are desperate to win a fucking trophy. I think that's even harsh.
Yeah.
Maybe I just think if he doesn't do West Ham, what's he doing? When's he doing it? So,
now, Suzy, I wanted to keep you for this question because, both you and I quite clearly follow the same strength training regime. We both have the bod. But you're. I mean, I've got qualifications in soccer fitness. You're into personal training and the gym. There's a lot of talk about this red zone. There's a lot of talk about players entering the red zone. Now, I know for a fact that the red zone is different for every different fitness crew at every different club. It's an entirely arbitrary designation. There is formulas that they have, but they change from fitness coach to fitness coach about how much load the body can take. But you've trained people. You know that people are capable of performing under higher loads than we may think. Just through sheer will, almost sometimes. Are we kind of using that as an excuse to not play somebody like Rio? He's not a slight boy. Like, trained not only is a slight player, he's a very weedy player. Shankly, like, he'd be on the stakes if Bill Shankly was the manager right now. He'd be on the stakes in the bottle of milk, and a few extra laps around Melwood. But Rio is built quite well. He looks physically mature. It's not really a day, isn't it? I mean, if he's playing 40 minutes here, 60 minutes there, two games off on the bench, say, it's not going to break him, is it?
No, and Kazi kind of like touched upon it, and you like the people that are on Discord, like people like Gally and even Timothy, like. Well, what are you protecting this kid from? Like, we haven't started him for any Premier League games. His minutes that he's played, when he has played, probably about maximum 10, 15 minutes a game, and that's like every other week. This kid, I know it's cliched. If you're good enough, you're old enough. He's shown that he's good, and the fact that there's 2 things here. We were told we don't get a Diaz replacement because we've got Rio on the bench, right? And that hasn't materialized because Slot doesn't play him. And I think because of that, we've seen a drop-off on Gakpo from last season because Gakpo himself has got no competition. You're only as good as your competition. It's like if you look at what Guardiola said about Klopp, Guardiola had to up his game because of Klopp, because Klopp pushed him all the way. Gakpo upped his game last season because he knew Luis Diaz was in his way, or he had to oust him out. Now he's got no one. He knows there's a 17-year-old kid on the bench that his adopted dad isn't going to put him on to play his games, and and we've seen a drop off from Gakpo for that. And every time you've seen Rio come on, he's not going to be this, Lionel Messi. No one's expecting that. But why can't we? Just because he plays for Liverpool, what's to say that he can't go on to be one of the greatest players ever? I'm pretty sure when Wayne Rooney came on the scene, and it's at Everton, a lot of people think about it's just a 16-year-old kid playing for Everton, but he turned out to be one of the world's best players. Just because he plays for Liverpool, it's like you've got people like Gally or teams like, well, no, he can't be that good. We're expecting too much. But why? Some people just have it. It's a generational talent. We said that about Trent with his passing and so forth. Like, we've produced great players. Trent came on under Klopp. He was 18 and scored a free kick in the Champions League, and he never looked back. Some kids have it, some kids don't. And you look at Trey Leone, he's been in and around the squad. I mean, he's getting frustrated because he knows he's got 4 people ahead of him. Curtis Jones can't even get in. So how's Trey Leone going to get in? We're going to have to let him go. Tyler Morton, he had to leave. All these other midfielders, we having to let go because Slot doesn't want to rotate. He doesn't believe in bringing these young players in. And I thought when we got Slot, one of the reasons we got him is because supposedly he developed players. He's not developing anyone.
Yeah.
He really isn't. He's stunting the growth. And his red zone, it's a myth because where the hell's Van Dijk's red zone? He's played every single league game, every minute of every league game this season. If anyone should be in the red zone, it's Van Dijk. But this red zone thing is a myth. And
I mean, Klopp kind of disproved that. I mean, players got injured, but as Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain said, you took the early injury because the rest of the season was great.
It's that intensity. That intensity is what helps you get through. If you look at that season when we won the 5 trophies, we were literally playing 3 games every week. And it wasn't until we took that 2-week break that mentally and intensity levels dropped. And we lost to Watford 3-0, lost to Atletico Madrid, got knocked out of the Champions League. But it's that intensity that keeps you going. It's momentum. It's like, what your body can't physically do. It's like a boxer. You just run out of steam, but mentally you just keep going. And that's what Klopp conditioned his players to be. But Slot is just, all right, fair enough. He's got a remit, is whatever, but Slot does what he does. Well, I don't understand the people that are supporting him and saying, well, no, we got to protect Rio. But what are you protecting him from? Because he's not playing any minutes to protect him from.
This is the point, I think. I just think it's like...
Sorry, Trevor's never driven a Geo Prism. It's 27 miles an hour, my friend.
I just feel like again, is that what Barcelona do in Yamal? Are they just saying, oh, you got to watch him? Oh, no, we can't play him. No, they're going to say, win at the fucking Champions League. Like, that's what they're saying. Do you know what I mean? I put something in the Discord a couple of weeks ago because I remember Cizzy was kind of talking about it and I kind of dispelled this myth about Jurgen Klopp and not rotating. And I just kind of want to run through it for you, gents, right? Because I think it's very interesting about this myth that Jurgen never rotated. In the 18-19 season, Jurgen Klopp used 25 players. 20 of those players played over 10 or more league games when you add up all their minutes together, over 900 minutes. In the 1920 season, so I'm picking seasons, by the way, where Liverpool go deep in competitions, because that's I think the remit. In the 1920 season, when Liverpool won the league, 23 players got used. 19 of them played over 10 games, adding up all the minutes. The 21-22 season, when Liverpool nearly win all 4, the manager uses 23 players and 19 of them again, 10 or more games. Last season, Slot used 27 players, so more than Jurgen. 14 of them got over 10 or plus minutes when you add 10 or plus games when you add all their minutes up. That tells you that he likes a small squad, a core squad. And the reason why I like to say the 10 games, because that's when someone's an option. If someone could donate 900 minutes into a league season, which is 10 games, that's fine. The 27 players that Slot used, one was Yaros, the keeper, away at Palace for 10 minutes. 26. Do you know what I mean? In effect, because he had to play him. So what I'm getting at is that, so the manager's made the squad smaller. He did this. This is what he wanted. Which is, I'm surprised about when he spoke about the intensity of last season when he got to February, March, and everyone's legs fell off and we've never recovered since, really. And then he's still made the squad smaller in the summer, which is bizarre. But okay, so if you make your squad smaller, so it's okay to have a core group of players, you've all been around footy, but you also need those sprinkling of kids to come in and do the dog minutes. Literally, we call them the dog minutes for a reason.
Yeah.
I understand Liverpool have been in games till they're 19. It's hard to get the kids in. I get all that. I can go along with the manager there, but he goes, well, we're in a game all the time. Every game we're in. Liverpool haven't won a fucking game just comfortably 3-0. Apart from Brighton in the Cup, I can't remember the last time we properly did it. Win just games 3-4-0, like a normal side. We don't do that. So, but again, so eventually you get to the point where if Cody Gakpo is in a red zone, because my God, he's playing like he is. Mo Salah isn't in a red zone, because my God, he's playing like he is. McAllister, is he not in a red zone? Because my God, Jesus Christ, he can be in his own zone all he likes. I'm just at the stage where, and again, lads, I don't want to sit there in the summer. Liverpool finish fucking 6th, and we go, well, at least Rio never got played. Like, we haven't got a choice. And again, I keep coming back to it. If it's not West Ham at home, when is it? Because West Ham at home, he can be protected, he can be helped. We can talk him through the game, all that kind of stuff, and get it. I don't know, lads. I just find this conversation bizarre. That people are just going, well,
it shouldn't even be a conversation or debate. It's just stupidity, and it's just, well, it's such a short career. And you can protect him for the whole season, and then he comes in, I don't know, next season, plays a game, trips over, breaks his leg, and it's like Leone. It's just any player can have a freak accident, but you can't. We're not protecting him from anything. If anything, all we're doing is, like Brian said, all we're doing is we're showing every other talented youngster out there, do not come to Liverpool because you're not going to get a game, because we can't even play the ones that we have got.
I just feel like, though, is he right? The conversation is he right about, again, him just starting. I think it's the greatest job. He's played 2.5 games in minutes all season. By the time he finishes the season, I would like that to be 6 or 7. That's it.
Yeah.
But one of the games has to be an hour here and there. A couple of the games have to be an hour. Do I want him to go down to the fucking Everton away or Old Trafford and start a game? Absolutely not. No, I do not want Rio starting at United away. But if Liverpool's serious about winning a trophy this season, Rio has to play a part from the start eventually.
Yeah.
It just has to. So we are.
Let's move on a little bit to the promised land of Rio and Gamalha, to the promised land of these lads finally getting punishment for their 115 charge. There's Pep desperately clinging on to the trophy he fears may be taken away from him. There's an analyst, I think his name is Kieran Maguire, had a thing out during the week talking about they won't get relegated because it's just there's too much legal hassle around it, because the Football League has to be a part of that conversation, and they are not. But a 60-point deduction and trophies from previously won trophies removed may be the ultimate punishment. Now, do we feel that will actually end up happening? Number one, and number two, I believe the charges go back to 2012. Is it all the way back to there? So that means it's potential that Brendan Rodgers gets a Premier League trophy. Yeah. How would we feel about that? Well, before let's go to the team members.
I'd rather Jürgen not get the other two if it means Brendan getting one for us. But that also means Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will get one if you want to go.
I mean, that is true too. But he was a Liverpool fan as a kid, as we know.
Also, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Jose Mourinho also.
Yeah, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer finished 18 points behind him. That's the other part of this conversation. Liverpool's in a very unique position. I'm at the stage where I just don't care. Just release the charges, release the punishment, and let's all move on with it. He's so clearly guilty. I don't care what the punishment is. I just want it to be. I just want to have guilty written across it. Sound, and then we can all agree then that my manager's the better manager, and that's and I'm fine with that. I just think, again, it's very difficult for me this, because Liverpool are Jurgen Klopp are 4 results away from being one of the greatest managers to ever live. He is anyway. But to have the trophy cabinet to prove it, where you could sit there and go, well, I've won 3 Champions League and 3 league titles in 7 years. That at Liverpool, because that's what 4 results does for him. Yeah. Okay, you can't overturn 2 Champions Leagues, and that's nothing wrong with that. But you can also sit there with 3 league titles in 7 years, which is a fucking fair goal. Do you know what I mean? And by the way, you would have retained it because you would have won in 18-19 and 19-20. So that's where the heart comes in. That's where the hair comes in. But I don't care if you get the titles back. I don't care. I don't want that anyway, really. I don't really care. I just want a big guilty across them. and whatever the punishment is, punish them. But also, what does relegating them do? By the way, it shows that you set a precedence and you can get relegated. And we'll dock you 60 points and all this, and I can get on board with that. The back up into 18 months of challenging for the league title. They'll be top of the league the Christmas after. Honestly, because they just whack that league, and do you know what I mean? And then just be top of the league by Christmas, and we're all back to normal again, and we're all square. I just think it has to be a bit more of a severe punishment. I don't know what that is though. Maybe a transfer ban for 5 years, 6-year transfer ban, and go and get your kids that you fucking bunged all that money into.
Maybe the punishment will be they have to buy Gakpo and play him in every game for 2 seasons straight.
They have to take slab.
That's our punishment is watching now. Oh man, I think Gakpo's getting a fair rap. But going back to these, I just think I just want it done. I don't care what the punishment is, just get it done. I've had enough. Let
me just ask you this quick question though. It's fantasy. It's not really a question. It's a fantasy island moment. It's Tattoo and the plane. Imagine they do get relegated into the championship, and because the championship is a very particularly physical and direct league,
right,
Pep doesn't know how to deal with it.
Or
he leaves, and the new manager doesn't know how to deal with it.
I think Pep's leaving.
I think Pep will jump before that result comes out. They'll have windows there 48 hours before, and he'll retire. Trust me about that fella. He's not getting no part of this. Pep won't be managing the championship. Nor should he be. I'm just at the stage where I just get it done, lads. Let's just fucking all move on with this. We know the guilty, so let's just put guilty on whatever the punishment is. We've already been proved guilty by UEFA. They got fined 40 million. Everyone forgets that. When they won the Champions League, they should have been barred. Do you know the reason why they didn't get a bigger ban? Because they had time barred issues. Everyone forgets that. I read into this when it all got released. UEFA did it, but the reason why City got back into the Champions League,
statute limitations,
time barred,
court of arbitration.
They could only retrospectively punish them over 5-6 years.
Yeah,
that's why they got fined 40 million. The Premier League doesn't have a time bar. So one set of lawyers and judges have already said they're guilty. It's the same stuff, but the Premier League doesn't have a time bar. That's the other, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't understand why. Again, I understand why it's taking so long. Shows it's 500,000 pieces of paperwork. Like, this is like fucking hell. It's more than so intense. Like, it's just ridiculous. And supposedly the people that are overlooking it have nothing to do with football. They're just completely independent of everything and things like that. And they're going to take their time. That's right. They should, by the way. They should take the time. But I'm at the stage where it probably has to be this summer, doesn't it? At the latest, we need to go into a season knowing you can't have City being top of the league in May with a game to go and they go, by the way, you're fined 60 points now. You can't have that. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be at the start of a season and go, we're going to punish you from this season onwards. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I just feel like, because first of all, even if Arsenal win it, if City get banned 60 points next week, if that takes off the shine off Arsenal, whether we like Arsenal or not, it proper ruins their day, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? It probably like...
No, that fan base.
I know, but I mean, if it was Liverpool, mate, you'd feel the same. That's all I'm saying. You've got to take your hat off now and then. If it's Liverpool, you go, Jesus, I want someone like to feel like, do you know what I mean? That we had a challenge. You're finishing 25 points ahead of Villa. It's just like, whatever. So, start of the season, let's go and move on.
Brian, what's your thoughts on it?
I don't think it's going to be any punishment at all. I've been saying that from the get-go. I don't think there's anything going to happen to this with there. I think that somehow, because they dragged this out so long, I think that people forgot about it for the most part. Honestly, because it's almost like that. It's almost like that Geico commercial with there when that guy has like the little dollar bill and with the fishing rod, and people keep on jumping up for it. That's what these damn charges are for the most part. They keep on just kind of dwindle them up there, but they never happen right there. And so I just don't think anything's going to happen. Now, if it does happen and they do go through there, I think they should go down to the bottom of the league. Personally, I mean, I think they should go back down to like second. Go start.
It's impossible. It can't happen because
I know it can't because of them. Yes, I understand.
The EFL and Premier League are completely separate.
Because there's correct, and all that. But I mean, I think that but the punishment is more suited right there for them. And then with it. But if they do go down the championship right there, they actually have structures of payment that they actually have a money that they have to stay within a framework of money they have to stay within. They'd have to sell a good portion of their squad, which I think is going to happen anyway. I think that I think Haaland's not going to be here next year, and I also think that Pep's not going to be here next year with City next year. I think that's something that's going to happen with them. But again, I still, as far as like the retroactive trophies, I don't want that shit. I don't care. Put an asterisk next to them and says that they cheated right there, and then move on with it right there. They can actually vacate them. I'm good with that too. Let's vacate them. Nobody won the league that year, and let's do it that way. Kind of like they've done with what in American sports right there, when they had teams like that have actually been proven to cheat, like in college things. They just vacate the championship and say, guess what? You didn't win shit. So nobody won this year. Do it that way. And then that null and voids that in right there and puts on the plate right there that they're cheats. We know they're cheats. I mean, they know they're cheats.
Don Reedy of Leeds was only ever rumoured, never charged or found guilty or anything other than not even circumstantial evidence of having taken bribes, or offered bribes rather, to teams to lose to Leeds so they could win games in the 70s. And his reputation never really recovered from that. If these charges are found, if the 115 charges are all guilty on the part of Man City, does this affect Pep Guardiola's reputation going forward, do you think?
No, not at all. I think Pep's come out before and he's even said, look, if they're proven guilty, then, the owners have lied to me, and then they're no longer my friends and so forth, whatever. And I think Pep is showing all the signs that he's going to leave at the end of the season. Even the stuff that he's saying in press conferences, like the political stuff about Palestine and ICE and all of that, it's like he just doesn't give a shit, because any other manager or player that would do that, the Premier League would reprimand him, and he just doesn't care. So I think he knows. I think he knows he's going to leave anyway. I think it was just yesterday he had a press conference and he was saying like managers are getting paid too much, and the most important people out there are teachers and doctors, and the managers aren't special. When he's showing echoes of Jurgen Klopp, like he's just had enough. I think between.
I mean, he didn't refuse his own paycheck now, to be fair, right? He didn't say that in the press conference.
He didn't.
Managers are getting paid too much, but, my bank account is quite full.
I mean, he's made his millions, but I mean, you think for the last 6 years, he's always going to be, I think unfairly, I mean, it's not him. He's not the one who's signing these players and so forth. But he's going to have that question mark over, or that kind of like grey cloud over him, like, we only did it because your club cheated. I think that he's going to have that on him, but it's not going to take anything away from him personally. I think it's the club, the fans, that they're going to be the most affected. The fans, good. I fucking hate the Gallagher brothers. Yeah, I mean,
to be fair, Man City fans generally are Man City fans. That's why they're
all six of them. But I'm disagreeing with all of you guys.
And one of them is Bonehead.
It's a part of this though. And again, the conversation isn't been about the signs and what they did. It's about falsifying the records.
Well, and you look at
it's important. I think about 25 or 30 of the charges are for not communicating with the Premier League.
Yeah.
So even if you're found right on everything else, you've still got 30 charges to answer of not communicating with the Premier League. So you've still got to answer them, even if you're right here. And then what's the conversation then? So okay, you might not lose your lead times or whatever. You're still going to be guilty on some parts and go, why didn't you communicate with us? Go and answer that.
Vodafone.
Yeah.
Beyond the communication, they had Mancini was being paid by another subsidiary company.
That's a part of this.
So you can't even, like I said, put the signings aside. Now they're inflating all the investments, the sponsorships, and all of that. It's a lot, and
maybe if anybody remembers back to the Sergio Aguero goal, and you see the camera cuts to Mancini, he's desperate to make sure whatever's in his suit pockets don't fall out. That's the wads of cash. That's what that is. Now finally we know it's the wads of cash.
There's a thing though, and again, the City conversation it's wild. I think because I know Newcastle were trying to do the same in Newcastle. But we have PSR for a reason, whether people like it or not. We have PSR for a reason. Now, I'm just very much I'm very much of the case with PSR of stop signing shit players. Like, everyone has this conversation going, well, the rules should be a bit more less stringent, so we can have a bit more. Just stop signing garbage. Aston Villa are on the brink, they say, of breaking PSR. You're the ones who signed Andre Onana for 40 odd million. That's on you. Like that. You're the one, like Newcastle were the same when Newcastle got charged or whatever it was. You're the ones who signed Chris Wood or someone for 30 million quid. That's on you. Stop signing shite. Like, or maybe I'm just like, I don't know. I just find, again, that's another thing I find weird about footy. I was like, this thing up here, oh, it's so harsh, it just stops the little, no, stop signing shite players, lads. And we all go from there. Like, if you just stop signing crap for a load of dough, for example, West Ham, oh my God, West Ham might get relegated. Lads, you haven't signed a good forward in 7 years. You sign £30 million Italian forwards every single year, then send them back after the season. Stop signing crap. Like, and then you'll be fine, won't you? Maybe I'm just a bit more I don't know, in great coaches, great scouts. Invest in that, by the way, which costs nothing in your PSR rules, because investment into the club is not negative equity. So, for example, you can build you can build training grounds, you can invest in scouts and all that, zero towards PSR. So how about do that?
I have a feeling somewhere Paolo Di Canio is like counting his money from all those Italian players sent over to West Ham.
Mate,
I will sort you out.
Have you ever seen a team who signed so many players you've never heard of who were crap?
No.
Honestly, I've never seen a team sign so many players over 20 million quid who were shite. Like,
you're not wrong.
You watch them for the first 20 minutes of the day and you go, they're all shite. Like, I can't, like, every single time. And again, I keep look at the league. Look at the league and where we're at. Look again. Brentford are a great example. Brighton are a great example. There's ways of doing it where you can compete. Brentford had the chance to finish in the top 4 this season, top 5, but they just fell off the last 2-3 games. Like, there's a chance where you can compete. They sold them Buemo and Kuna, but they went and signed that fucking Thiago and things like that, and signed Henderson, good bit of business. Kelleher, good bit of business. Do you know what I mean? Vandenberg was a good bit of business. Like, you can still do it. The conversation around PSR and the whole narrative, I just find it fucking bizarre. Again, I'm on a soapbox tonight, lads, about this kind of stuff because it really frustrates me. Like, if you know what I mean?
I did notice you're a bit taller on the camera today.
Mate, I'm livid today. Honestly, you've literally dug up some stuff here which I've been burying for a long time to do with footy. Stop signing crap players for loads of money and you'll be signing with PSR. That's all we want.
Tell me about your child and
Sounds like a room 433 thing.
Honestly, yeah. By the way, next time we do room 433, I have the greatest one.
Okay, we'll do it for next week then. We'll do it for next week. You got to make sure you're there. Right, so just to annoy everybody, because I know this is not the most popular topic, and this also looks a bit dodgy now that I've looked at
what the fuck is that?
I've looked at the two diagrams next to each other, and they're very suggestive.
Your hair on the left-hand side, not when you were going bald. Was that your hair?
Yes, it's pretty much. That was the direction. On the left side was the direction of my comb over from January to May, and then on the right side from June to December. That's how it went. This is a graph that shows that as a predictor of future performance, expected goals beats pretty much everything, but not by an awful lot of much. And then this is like from the study that I came from. That XG ratio is the best predictor of future points at any time during a season. The reason why I brought this up is because following last weekend's game, there was a massive debate on Discord about the performance versus the fact that we got the points, and how we all reacted to it. My question is, I'm firmly in it's not just stats, really. It comes from years of coaching as well, that a team that plays well but isn't getting results will eventually get the results. But a team that plays badly and gets results is eventually going to get a massive kick in the ass. And we saw that earlier this season, when those results fall away and you have nothing to fall back on. We've played well in a good few of the last, maybe 4 or 5 of the last 6 games, but the Forest performance was, let's say, dry, to say the least. It was a bit sandpapery. We got the win, but we got the win because of the change we talked about really at the top of the show here about Rio and Gamal going in and making a difference. But it didn't look like it was going anywhere until that happened. My question to you guys is, would you prefer that we went through a period when we were losing the games, that we were playing really well, but just not getting the results for it? Would that make you more confident for the rest of the season, as opposed to we were just crap and losing games because we were crap? Because I'm still wary about what the rest of the season is going to be because of what happened last Saturday, Sunday, whatever day it was. I don't know what team we're going to get coming up to West Ham this weekend. That's what my issue is, and that's what the question is. So, are we still in? Are sections of our sport still in the thrall of, well, the result is good, Liverpool win? It's a happy time, but let's turn a blind eye to the performance, as opposed to, well, we got the win, but my God, we struggled for that, and we shouldn't, because that's Nottingham Forest and they're in the relegation zone. We shouldn't be struggling against teams in the relegation zone. What do you guys think?
I mean, I'll take results of our performance all day. At this right now, the way we're the situation that we're in, it's all about the results now. I think even this time last season, we were so close to winning the league, the performances just didn't matter anymore. Just get the points and just bag them, and that's it, and call it a day. I'm just so tired of these comments of being unlucky, and we played well, and the other team didn't create chances, and it's just statistical nonsense that Slot falls back, and it's probably why he's got so many supporters on Discord, because everyone just fucking knows the stats and is blind to seeing that we're just shit. So at this moment in time, we just get the results over and done with. Call it a day.
But the stats don't show we're playing well. The stats show we're actually playing shit. That's what my point is. The stats aren't backing up the scoreline, and eventually that regresses to the mean and put you back on your arse again.
And I agree with that. But both things can be right.
Oh yeah.
This is the other part. I can be happy that Liverpool scored a last-minute winner.
Yeah.
And I was very happy. But I can also be unhappy by the way that we played. Both things are still correct. We were still shite, but I'm still made up. It feels like you have to pick a side all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the heart of what I'm trying to get at, isn't it? You can be happy that the scoreline favours us, but if we don't play well, we don't play well.
Exactly.
Right?
And I agree with Sergi, in effect, of course, we always take the points over performances, and that's never. And Macka and I also agree with you. Eventually, though, if you keep playing shite, someone's going to whack you. And I get all that. And by the way, both things are correct. They're both right. But again, you can still criticise when that was the worst performance I've seen in 10 years at Liverpool in the first 45 minutes.
Yeah.
10 years. Yeah. Someone mentioned the Brighton at home game under 22-23 season. I don't even remember it. Sorry, Brighton away, we got battered 3-0. I don't even remember it. But that was as bad as I've ever seen a Liverpool team. As bad
the Palace game was pretty dour as well.
Oh, man, no, we couldn't stop the ball. No one could control the ball. No one played well. But I'm still going to be made up that Liverpool win the Champions League doing that, mate. I'm fine with it. So I don't know, lads. Maybe I'm just I'm kind of a bit of an old school guy here. Both things are correct. Liverpool need to improve massively. The manager knew that, because the manager came out at the end of the game and that wasn't good enough, and he knew that. There's also the Liverpool's biggest problem right now, which no one wants to chat about. How do they play football without Florian Wirtz? Yeah, because I've just witnessed it for 45 minutes. I witnessed it for 90, but Liverpool got it together. The problem is when I had with the manager on the weekend, as much as the performance was awful, I could have seen it, and I'm just a fucking fat overweight prick who lives in Nevada, that you should never ever have done Jones and Szoboszlai in those positions. The deal should have been that as soon as Wirtz got injured, we're getting Szoboszlai back in centre mid, and Jones is going right back. Yeah. As soon as you did it, the game changed. Yeah. The game flipped. He did it for the last 10 of the first half. Liverpool, by the way, I don't think Liverpool conceded the shot the last 10. We kind of just steadied the ship, get in here. Yeah. The second half, we played a little bit better. 80 minutes on, we play okay. We play good. 80 minutes on. Why have you made that decision? Now, I get the conversation of a manager going, well, I don't want to change 2 or 3 positions 5 minutes to go in a game. And I get that. Hey, mate, as soon as Curtis Jones has given the ball away 3 times in centre mid and Nave is on a counter, the decision should have been made 5 minutes in. You're going right back. You know what I mean? That's because you can't control the footy, and I just need someone to control the footy in the middle of the park. That's my biggest concern. And Liverpool need to figure out a way to win a game without Florian Wirtz and create chances, because they don't. And that's how important that lad's been in the last 6-8 weeks.
Now, here's the thing, Brian, because I said this and it was taken slightly the wrong way on the Discord channel, that the passing network map thing, which I absolutely love those things, but it showed that all of our possession was in our half. All of our players were in our. They weren't sitting back and defending for their lives. What they were doing was holding the ball in our half against the team that's, what are they, 17th in the league?
Yeah.
16th.
Yes.
Again, you know, when we're really looking, it's not the start of the season. We're coming to the business end of the season, and we really need to push on. Yet we were playing very passively. Wirtz, I think Ozzy makes a great point, but what Wirtz does is he drives us forward. And now that he's more comfortable with the league and he knows what he's doing, that little switch put Szoboszlai in a position to drive us forward because he's been the main man doing that. And then when Rio came on the field, that's all he wants to do is drive forward. You know, and as you know, I'll stand by what I said in Discord today. We may be four bald, handsome slobs on a Thursday night podcast, but we are all better managers than Tim Sherwood. But we could all see that you know, it's. I'll say Bickler has come around to my way of thinking, and we all know I've been saying this for months. It's Brendan Ball 2.0. It's almost like too arrogant to make that change because it kind of says, "Oh, I've made a mistake."
Yeah, how do we reel Bickler in with all of us with our agreement?
Yeah, seriously, yes, he should
odd thing right there.
Thursday nights.
Because I like watched Kazi and Bickler agreed on the same thing on Discord, and I was like, okay, what kind of like bizarro world am I in at the moment? but anyway, I mean, I said the same thing right there about that where they put Curtis Jones in there, and I knew that was going to be a problem as soon as that. In my opinion, which is a little bit probably different from what kind of like you guys thought about, I probably would have put McAllister in a 10 spot right there and move Jones back in there. And then, you know, and I think that Szoboszlai actually does a good number as a right back. I don't want him as a right back, but he actually fits the role well. But I'd much rather have a real right back in that position. I'd probably put Gomez in there and had Gomez play at right back. At least then you have somebody natural. But the problem is right there is that it goes back to my hatred for that formation. If you have your two pivots in there and they are both shit right there on the day, which against Nottingham Forest, both McAllister and Gravenberch were horrible in that first half. That's why I mean we should have been down at least 2 goals in that first half right there, because I think that Nottingham Forest is pretty wasteful right there for what what they did on there. So if you have these two guys that are not playing right there, which on your pivot, which is in there, then you're inviting this to happen. I think that Jones right there is a much better player playing back in that pivot than he is playing in that 10 spot. I think that there's some problems that Jones does. And, you know, I think Jones sometimes regresses back to the Jones that we were critical of a couple seasons ago right there in that 10 spot, where he holds the ball too long and allows somebody to come up to go and challenge him, and he loses the ball. And I watched that in the first half. And I love Jones, but I just don't think that Jones is that type of player to replace Wirtz, especially when you have a Wirtz type system that you're implementing in right there, and we don't have that. Szoboszlai maybe close, but we don't. But if we're going to go in this like position where we're relying on Wirtz to go in there to create our offense, we don't have that position at the moment.
There's also a part of right, and the Curtis Jones thing at right back killed me on the weekend. Jones plays well against Brighton right back. He scores. He gets in the position. He puts Jones back right back. Jones has a great chance in the second half to score. You know what I mean? It's a great save by Ortega, to be fair. Jones does really well. It's a great save. So Jones is showing you that he can get in the box and in those areas from right. He's smart enough to make the run and time the run right. So why? So I'm a bit fucking bizarre by this. I was a bit bizarre by it. Listen, hopefully the conversation doesn't have to happen anymore because Joe Gomez is back and Frimpong's going to be back. So hopefully the conversation doesn't need to happen anymore. But Liverpool will not win footy matches unless Szoboszlai is playing in midfield. That is the be-all and end-all. We cannot run. We have a midfield that can't run. They are literally the slowest footy team I've ever seen. This is the slowest footy team I've ever seen.
They are the worst conditioned Liverpool team I've seen in a long time.
Oh, let's not get in that conversation.
I'll ask you the question now, right? And I reckon you might get 3 different answers if you ask different people. Who's the quickest player at Liverpool? Because I reckon
right now, probably
Frimpong. Yeah,
it's right.
I can see he's quick, but no one knows.
No
one can sit there and go, he's definitely the quickest, 1000%. You don't know. Do you know why? Because we're so fucking slow. Like McAllister kills me. I can't watch him anymore, right? I'm going to strangle him. Right? Honestly, I've never seen a drop-off of a player who's won the World Cup more than him. Honestly. Oh, when the fucking going got tough, he was in the box. He's committed. He basically scores 2.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, because he's just in the box. So if you can do it in the last 10 and be trusted to do it, why isn't the manager trusting to get in the fucking box? As Brian just said, play Jones alongside Gravenberch and just say to Alistair, go and do a fucking Timu version of Wirtz. By the way, where you play for Argentina?
Not as a fucking pivot.
He literally plays there for Argentina because they played the Paul and Enzo Fernandez, the Paul, and then it was McAllister. Like, this is just bizarre. Honestly, I just think the manager doesn't help himself. That's all. Just help yourself. It's a bit like Rio now. This is going back to Big because I think this is great. We're all going to wake up on Saturday. If we check that and go, Rio starting, we're all going, let's fucking go. How do the fans feel when they walk into the ground and see Rio starting? Right, lads, let's fucking go. Do you know what I mean? It's automatically a big lift. But no, if you get the team sheet and go, Gakpo, Salah, nice one. Here we go again. That's what happens. That's what happens when you go in the stadium. And then Gakpo, in the first 5 minutes, cuts in and blazes one over the bar. And then everyone goes, what's happened to the atmosphere? Oh, yeah, because they're watching the same. Liverpool, I think this team, I know I'm going on a rant tonight. This team.
What do you mean tonight?
I know. This team, I think right now, in the position that we're in as fans, we need a spark. We just need something just to go up off our feet. Like, let's go. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, like a bit. And we're all watching every game and we're just sitting like this going, I just want to feel like I'm on the edge of my seat ready to pounce. And whether that's a Rio, whether that's a Chiesa or an Ekatike or an Isak when he comes back, we need this now. But Liverpool will not win games. Or not have a chance of winning games if Szoboszlai continues at right back. It cannot happen. Joe Gomez comes on in the 80-odd minute. He throws 3 or 4 balls into the box. He was our most attacking player, and he hadn't used his feet yet. He hadn't kicked the ball, and he was our most attacking player. That's where we're at. I'm just a bit bamboozled by it all. So hopefully Frimpong and Gomez are back and can start 40 matches, because I've just had enough of this playing midfield or right back nonsense.
So let's go ahead, Brian.
And and the thing even with that is with their Konate and has become so much of a better player in this past couple weeks through after he came back from all this right there. Yeah. And I think that we are staying in matches right now because of Konate, Van Dijk, and Alisson at the moment. I mean, I'm just going to say that right there because that's what saved our asses right there for the past couple of weeks right there, man. Because we literally have our midfield has been walked all over for the past couple of matches.
Let's segue into the game because we're going to lose Suzy in a little bit. He's going to get injured like Isak, Leone, and everybody else. I'm saying now Liverpool, West Ham. Just as we're talking about it. Suzy, I mean, that is a great point because in the 90s, it was Robbie Fowler. He was the spark. You wanted to see what he was going to do every week. Steve McManaman as well, to an extent. In the 2000s, it was, Michael Owen, then Steven Gerrard, then Torres. The coming into this game and how tricky West Ham may be, seeing Rio on the team sheet, it's going to give Anfield a lift. And giving Anfield a lift is half the battle sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean when during COVID season when we lost them 7 games in a row at home, it's just not a coincidence. Yeah, when we talk about 12th man, it's literally the 12th man. It's it's not just the players that frighten the opponents. It's the stadium. It's our fans. How many opponents turn around and say Anfield's probably the best stadium to play that because of the fans and the atmosphere. And I mean, apart from the 2 or 3 people in Discord, everyone wants to see Rio play. I mean, I don't want to see him play 90 minutes, obviously not unless he's up to it. But yeah, just that boost, just that change. Like, we're literally, Gakpo is just the definition of insanity. I don't know why anyone expects him to do anything different other than get the ball and cut in and just run into players. I mean, I could be a Premiership. You can put me in the opposition defense against Gakpo. I know what he's going to do every single time. I'm going to steal the ball off him every single time. And it's just unbelievable. And I know a manager's role is to protect the players and so forth, but his biggest remit is to win games and put points on the board, and we're not going to get that with Gakpo. Just try something different. I mean, and again, we're not expecting him to play 90 minutes, but just play something different. West Ham are a team there for the taking, and I mean, I predict we'll probably win this 3-0, and it might be a performance that's just going to flatter to deceive. But I mean, I think we'll win this 3-0. But but yeah, it'll be great to see Rio get a start. I don't think it's going to happen, but
Kazi, what do you think? Is it likely? Because it's quite predictable. Is it likely that Slot will slap us all in the face and go with what he knows?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Why would he? Liverpool have won 6 and 7 or something. Why wouldn't he? I'm just. What do we expect? The manager hasn't showed us anything in 2 years of anything that he's willing to throw something at a game, like a kid at a game or something like that, or kind of a spark. He's not that type of manager. Never will be. He might. I think he'll do Joe Gomez right back, and probably Szoboszlai back and centre mid, and we all go from there. Yeah, whether we agree with it or not, of course we don't. It's just frustrating. It's just annoying. It's just all of the above, and I just feel like we're not very good, and we could do with that kind of spark, and I don't think we're going to get it. So.
We've lost Sir Z. He's gone. Oh no! It's just us three now. Yeah. I know. Have a good weekend there for Sir Z, and we'll see him next week. But Brian, actually no, I'll get to Brian now. Just because he is the genuine Scouser amongst us all. Anfield is an incredibly loyal ground for managers and players, but only up to a point. I mean, Hodgson was found out fairly quickly. Rodgers got a lot of good grace until he started playing games. And I don't mean the actual football games, but he started playing like games in the press. It takes a lot for an Anfield crowd to turn on a manager, but kind of insulting their intelligence by him thinking he knows better than the rest of everybody else. When as we say, the answers are quite obviously staring him in the face. I mean, we're getting to maybe, do you think, a home game, a turning point in that relationship if it hasn't been reached already?
I don't think you'll see an Anfield turn on in the season. I think there's far too much to play for still, especially in the cups. I don't think that will ever happen. I just think we're at the stage where you're fighting for your job. The least, like, managers lose their job because of home form. Everton right now, and this is a great point. Everton look like the most depressing football team in the world. That's what I've got a lot of toffees. We go, we're all right in the league, we're good away now. They haven't won at home in like 3 months. The Hill Dicky. So there's a part of this where you've got it, because that's where the core of the fans go to see you. And if you go in and you keep throwing like performances like Leeds at home, turgid garbage, then that's when the crowd turns on you. I'm at the stage with again. We can whatever, you know. I've been doubts about the manager since day one. I called them out early. I smelt him early doors, and I understood what he was doing, and it worked. And he won his league title, and he might win his Champions League and all that kind of stuff, whatever. And I'm happy to go with that. And I keep saying this: if Arne Slot is the consequence of Liverpool winning trophies, then I will live with it, because all I care about in my life is Liverpool winning trophies in that aspect in terms of sport. The crowd. You need something. Anfield has always been a crowd, and it's not like the German crowd. You just stand there with a big thing, don't even watch the game and just shout and just sing it. It's not like that, and that's why English football is so unique. It builds like a wave of like an unstoppable force that you just can't stop. And Anfield's always been like that, but we always need a spark. You always need something to get us up, and whether that's a big tackle, whether that's a kid like Rio coming in, skinning 2 people and going fucking hell, then he hits the bar and that, then before you know it, we're away. It's always needed that. Right now, if the kid can't do West Ham at home, then my God, Cody Gakpo best play well.
No.
You know what I mean? That's the other thing as well. That's because we can sit there, like we can all get the teams, you think, oh, Rio is shite. But if Cody Gakpo walks off, scores 2 and Liverpool win 3-0, we go, great decision by the manager. So, how about this then? If Arne Slot, how about this? Prove us wrong. Do Cody Gakpo. But my God, make sure he plays well. Make sure you get him on the ball and he's brilliant and he scores 2. We all go, Arne Slot, what a genius. And I want to say that, by the way, because that means Liverpool win games.
Brian, what's your thoughts on the game?
to just kind of feed off of Kazi on this one here. I want that confidence right there of a manager who will pull Kwanzaa the way he pulled Kwanzaa when he saw he wasn't playing well. Pull him out. If you see he's not doing it, I haven't seen this slot do that since he came there, did that right there, and made that call that he didn't want him to go and play right there. And it's like, I haven't seen that. If you come there and have a player that's not playing well, sub him out. Move on. What I think about this match right there, West Ham are not a good side. I mean, I can't.
A little bit of form, haven't he?
Yeah,
I mean, win it on field. The manager's won it. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, aside for Somerville, they're really it's a lot. It's a pretty dire side. Bowen is probably is done. I mean. Yeah, exactly. He's not that threat that we had there was a couple seasons ago. I think his shelf life, like you said, is past. I mean, and he's kind of like hanging on to those last moments of the dying ember right there, basically of what he was. I think that we have enough right there, and if we to win this match. I really think there is enough in this side. But kind of like what Kazi said right there, we have to you have to have something to ignite this club right there, to do us right there. Because I see what I saw last week right there against Forest, that first 45 minutes again. I mean, I just don't think that you're going against another relegation struggling side right there who are going to be like, hey, you know what? Forest came there and wasted their chances. We're going to take our chances. And I think Somerville's a quick kid. He's probably I think that they're more equipped to probably go and hit us on a counter than I think Forest was. So I mean, aside from Forest, without having Chris Wood with them for most of the season, they had no forwards. They had nothing there, right, to go off of. I mean, their one forward was basically isolated. But I think we're going to win this match. I mean, I can't just sit on Monday night. I said, a 2-0, 3-0 type of thing. And I don't think that West Ham have enough to score against us, especially with what I said earlier right there with Konate, Van Dijk, and Allison, the way they've been playing. I think that we probably got one of those tightest, fittest defenses at the moment. I just don't think that West Ham have the offense to break that down.
Just before I say, forget it. Did Vitz just have the trots the other day? Was that what?
No, he had a back issue.
A back issue.
Yes, I reckon he's fine.
Yes.
There's a part of this though last night, and I think this is a psychological thing. If Liverpool win comfortably, let's just say Liverpool win 4-0, long shot, they could be sitting fourth before United and Chelsea play, and Chelsea are going to Arsenal. So psychologically, you can give them a big blow. United are playing at home to Palace. Okay, I expect them to win that game, but still, if it's 0-0 in the 60, do you know what I mean? It's just let's have a. Why can't Liverpool deal a psychological blow now and then? Because we haven't dealt one in a while, and I think this is a game where you can do that. So I think Liverpool win 1-0. I think it'll be a horrible, scrappy, horrible game, and I think we just win 1-0. I just probably a set piece like the Sunderland game. I just think the manager, Nuno, I know they need to win. Really, West Ham kind of need points now. So they need to come, but they'll set up right. He's going to make the mark to break down. I think Liverpool will win, but we have got to look quite a bit better from set pieces in the last 4 to 6 weeks. So Liverpool will probably be a threat, and I don't think West Ham are great from set pieces, if I remember correctly. But yeah. So
apart from the scoreline, then would we be okay to say that the biggest victory you can have is Rio starting?
No. Because the 3 points is the most important thing in the world, of course.
No, apart from the 3 points.
Oh, yeah, apart from that, yeah. It's not a victory as such. It's just something that, again, if Liverpool are being serious about winning trophies this season, then this kid has to start a game here, isn't it? That's all. And that doesn't mean he has to start every game. And we're going back to it. We're not saying that. But it's saying you want to get on. If you're 1-0 down a Champions League final in the 72nd minute and Cody Gakpo's being Cody Gakpo, I want to throw Rio one. But I feel like if the kid comes in and keeps playing 5 or 6 minutes here and there, then that's not going to help anyone. So, and again, I keep saying, if you can't do West Ham at home, you can't do the rest.
And that's what you call a callback. That's how you get back to the start. That's how it's. No, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can go back to the start and it's the same conversation.
No idea.
That's how you do it. That's how it's done. That's what you learn when you're working broadcasting. So Brian has what, 3-1, 2-1?
I like either 3-0, 2-0, something in that ballpark.
Cozzy has 1-0 scrappy. I'm saying 4-0 Darwin Núñez hat-trick. No, I'm saying I think it might be a 2-2.
Yeah, I wouldn't surprise you.
I just think it might be.
I'm not very good.
It might be a 2-2, and then the warm starts to turn down for Arnie Slot, because I don't think they'll get a better chance to have a great home performance for the rest of the season in the league than this game.
That's a fair point. And again, I keep saying it. Liverpool have got West Ham, Wolves. What you want? If you
I'm more worried about Wolves now. Like they're going to get into that territory. They're going to get into that territory that those like bottom team have, where they've nothing else to lose anymore, and suddenly they start playing really well. You go, why you do that for 20 other games?
And I get it, but I go off this. I know they're playing tomorrow. Wolves, they're playing Villa, which is a bit of a derby. It's not a derby, but it's close enough. They're not used to playing 3 in a week. So
yeah.
That's all. I just think sometimes when those teams are below and then they do it 3 in a week, they always fucking have a weird one. I just think Liverpool playing them at the right time. You're playing West Ham, Wolves. If Liverpool come out and we have this conversation, lads, next week, and Liverpool have won 3 games, you can actually sit there and go, we've won 9 and 10. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's serious form, and that's how you got to look at it. We can all friend Forest is forgotten about. This is the thing about the Forest game now and the West Ham game, and I know we kind of went over it a little bit, but I think it's important again. If Liverpool go out and put a performance in against West Ham, you just kind of see, oh, well, the Forest games are one-off in this bank of games that we've had. If Liverpool go out, win 4-0, as you're saying, brilliant performance, Liverpool have won 7 and 8, and then you go, well, the one-off, Forest. Don't make the Forest to be the form. Make it be the one-off. And the way you do that is go out and whack West Ham, like you just said.
Peter says 5-1 or 51. I don't know. I'd take the 51 to be fair. And Andre says it's 3-1. 2 late goals.
Also, I think with the Wolves thing, back on that conversation a little bit right there, I think I'd be more concerned with Wolves in the FA Cup than I would be with Wolves in the league. I think that I think the league. They know the league's done. Yeah. I don't think, I think the cup progression probably would be something that they would probably be more attuned to.
Didn't Luton do that year? Like once the relegation was pretty much confirmed, they suddenly start playing like Brazil 1970.
The Wolves though, and I think they want 2 more points. You don't want to be the lowest ever team to go down.
Yeah,
we're on 10. As much as they're playing well in games, and we've seen them, they look sprightly in games. Let's say they're on 10. I think.
Yeah,
like you need to get to 12 at least. Don't break the derby record.
So with that said, if you want to find out more shenanigans from us here, follow us on YouTube. Click the notification, the subscribe, the bell, all those kinds of things. Facebook, Instagram, X formerly known as Twitter, Blue Sky, Mastodon, and Uri Geller's telepathic internet forums. It's using the power of your mind. Because he's from Cork, apparently. Cozzy and Brian, it's good to talk to you as always. It's good to be soapboxed. That is not a saucy verb. It's a proper verb. We've just made it up, and it belongs to Cozzy. He invented it. We will hopefully have a great time on Saturday. I just realised, thanks to Cozzy, that it's on Saturday. I was all set up for Sunday because my wife is in work on Sunday, so I would have had the whole house to watch it on the big television. But now I might have to be relegated a little one. We'll see how that works out. Peace out, everybody. Have a good weekend. Stay safe, and we will see everybody next Thursday. I believe there's morning coffee in the morning. So if you want shenanigans, and possibly Cozzy shenanigans, because you can never get enough of them. They're addictive, like the coffee of the title. And then watch tomorrow morning at, I think, is it 9 a.m. Eastern, Central, whatever, sometime like that. Whenever you have your Cocoa Krispies or Cocoa Pops, as they should be called properly, because that's what they are. Join in and watch that. Have a good one, and here's some funky music to get us off the beddy, boys. Peace out, people.